From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Parlier.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. Good morning, Happy New Year, and welcome to the Tuesday, January 7, 2025, 9 a.m. meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We will begin today's meeting with the flag salute, led by our very own Sergeant Dustin Contreras. Would you please make your way down? Sergeant Contreras, 23 years in the service of Kern County at KCSO. He is co-chair of the Kern Coalition Against Human Trafficking, and he is also the vice chair of CASERA, Movin', Rockin' and Rollin'. Dustin, thank you for your unparalleled service to Kern County. You're a very special person.
My contribution, thank you. Everyone, please stand. Join me in saluting our nation's colors. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. My apologies. Kathy, I forgot to say, please remain standing at the end. A little rusty here. It's been a half decade, so work with me. Next, we have our pet of the week. I'm going to ask Nick Cullen to come down to the podium today because our furry friend is too big to hold up here. So, Nick, who do you have with you today? Very friendly, very loving. I experienced that just a few moments ago.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board. The pet of the week this morning is Topper. Topper is about a 5-year-old Shepherd mix. You'll notice he's a little bit bigger than the dogs I usually bring, slightly too big for me to hold. But he's available for adoption right now. He's a staff and volunteer favorite, and multiple staff and volunteers specifically asked me to take him this morning because he's such a sweet boy. He's available for adoption right now at the Kern County Animal Shelter.
Nick, it didn't take long for me to give him some love, and he instantly expressed friendship to me with his paw. First 1 and then 2, and I wish I could take him myself. Loving dog. Thank you, Nick. And thank you to your staff. Okay, so we're going to begin this morning by considering the consent agenda. Agendas are located at the tables near the back of the room for anyone wishing to follow along. All items listed with the capital CA above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding that item, they may do so prior to the vote being taken. A member of the board may remove an item as well from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in its listed sequence, with an opportunity for members of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. And a member of the public may also comment on any closed session item. I will read the consent agenda items now. Kathy, we do the regular consent? Okay. Everything highlighted. Okay, consent matters begin on page 2. They include items 3 through 5 and 8 through 12. On page 3, items 13 through 15 and 18 through 20. On page 4, all items listed 21 to 24. On page 5, all items listed 25 to 27. On page 6, all items listed 28 through 36. Page 7, items 37 through 40. Would anyone from the public like to comment on consent matters this morning? Morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Dennis McLean, MC, capital Lean. I would like to get an explanation on those purchases. Let me refer back to consent item number 22. Would like to get an explanation on those purchases and those expenditures that are related to that piece, please. Thank you.
Dennis. Thank you for the question. Kathy, I know is Amy present? I know we had discussed her being present. Amy, are you available? Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Welcome. Kathy, do you prefer that we pull this item from consent? Or should we comment on it now?
Your option would be to ask Amy Espinosa to comment, to respond to the request. If a board member desires to pull the item off consent for full consideration, that would be up to any of the board members.
Understood. Thank you so much. Amy, can I ask you to come down to the podium? You heard the question, of course. Thank you. Thank you for the question, Mr. McLean. And Happy New Year to you, Amy. It's nice to see you.
Good morning, Amy Espinosa, Kern County Auditor, Controller, County Clerk, Registrar of Voters. So the total funding is $3.7 million under a HAVA grant, and it's for upgrades to our voting system. And then there's also a portion of about $340,000 that's specific for our election management system. Of that $3.7 million so far, we've spent $503,078.61, and that was on the sorter that was purchased in 2019.
Okay, any other details that you can provide, Amy?
That's all we've spent so far. Right now, we're going back and looking over the last few years to see if there's any other qualifying expenditures that are related to any system upgrades or system-related maintenance type things that will qualify under this grant so that we can draw down those funds as well. In addition, in 2023, when I first assumed office, I did notify your board and the public that we would be going out to look at other voting systems in 2025 to see, it's good practice. We've been with our current voting system for a long time, and not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but it is good practice to go out from time to time to see if there's another vendor that has maybe something that's going to work better for Kern County. And so some of these funds will be used towards that as well.
I see. So you're allowed to reimburse previous expenses, I mean, from 2019. That's a previous upgrade that you were allowed to use the HAVA grant to backfill that expenditure?
Correct.
Okay.
And then the item today is just extending the term. There's no additional funding. It's just giving us until December 31st, 2026 to actually draw down these funds.
Okay. Would any member of the board like to comment or ask any questions? Supervisor Parlier.
Thank you so much. When do you anticipate it going out in 2025?
Excuse me. We're working on an RFI or an RFP right now.
Okay, your guesstimation, would it be mid-year or?
What I would like to do is, yes, my goal is to at least begin negotiating an agreement by the end of this fiscal year, so that we have plenty of time to implement the system and test thoroughly. Once we get it set up, we're also going to have CISA come in to do what's called a penetration test, where they basically try to essentially attack the system to find any potential weaknesses and get those tied up before we start using that in 2026.
So potentially with the new RFP going out, you could have a new system other than Dominion then, correct?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other questions? Okay, Amy, you're so helpful. Thank you very much. Will you be around for a few moments in case other matters arise?
Yes, and I also have an announcement that I'd like to make during public comments. So.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Amy. Any other comments? Okay. Thank you for the question and thank you for the clarification. I believe that we can then consider all consent matters in one motion, and I will wait for my colleagues.
Motion on consent.
Thank you, Jeff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the regular agenda now, and the first item is a resolution honoring 4th District Supervisor David Couch for his numerous accomplishments as 2024 Chairman of the Board of Supervisors. Can I ask a colleague to make a motion on this resolution?
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Yes. The motion is approved, all ayes.
Thank you. Normally, we would come down to the podium and read these resolutions. After COVID, we started doing it up here, and it's just so much easier and more pleasant. So we're going to continue in that tradition. And Supervisor Couch, I want to read all of these whereases. It is lengthy, but it is important, and I think sacred space to acknowledge the profound contributions of David Couch, who I have always said is completely brilliant, idea person, and brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise. In 2024, 4th District Supervisor David Couch proudly served as chairman of the Kern County Board of Supervisors, bringing a wealth of experience from his tenure to impeccably support the residents of Kern County. And under his esteemed leadership, Chairman Couch led the board in allocating historic investments in Kern County's quality of life services, fulfilling our organization's mission to exceed the expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Chairman Couch kicked off the year with a record-breaking State of the County, garnering the largest number of attendees in the event's history, as he shared with more than 800 residents how Kern County is investing today for a stronger tomorrow at the Mechanics Bank Convention Center. Throughout 2024, Chairman Couch brought a unique and meaningful addition to all Board of Supervisors meeting by inviting local veterans to lead the Pledge of Allegiance and share their personal stories of information and heroism. Chairman Couch was pivotal in directing the prudent and fiscally sound management of Kern County's $4.4 billion annual budget, as strategic investments were made in public safety, park improvements, education through libraries, economic development, enhanced services for unincorporated communities with Measure K funds, infrastructure and road improvements, improved behavioral health and substance use services, and increased social services and support to the most vulnerable residents in our community. Chairman Couch worked diligently to improve the amenities within his district by assuring Fuller Acres Park, Lamont Park, La Colonia Park, and Delano Memorial Park received the resources necessary to better meet the needs of District 4 residents. As the energy landscape changes, due to unprecedented state regulations, Chairman Couch supported the board in effectively maintaining Kern County's position as the energy capital of California by permitting the first large-scale carbon capture project in the state and the first in the nation. To use a depleted oil and gas reservoir to protect communities while storing CO2 and providing for jobs and tax revenues, in addition to creating a new role for legacy oil and gas companies to thrive. Chairman Couch also led Kern County through various infrastructure upgrades years in the making, including the grand opening of the new Kern County Sheriff's Office coroner facility and public administration building, and completion of 2 new state-of-the-art psychiatric health facilities, much needed. Throughout the year, Chairman Couch exemplified the true meaning of public service as he and his staff supported District 2 constituents while the office remained vacant. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California, does hereby commend and thank Supervisor David Couch for leading the Board of Supervisors and the County of Kern in these outstanding accomplishments during his time as chairman. I'm going to ask my colleagues to make a few remarks, but I want to say I wish you could see David Couch in closed session, as he is stunning. His command of numbers, his command of budgets, his devotion to fiscal prudency is truly astonishing. I've watched it for a dozen years. It's true to who he is, and it's a remarkable contribution to this board and to the fiscal prudency and solvency of Kern County. I've learned a lot from you, David, and appreciate your chairmanship. I know we're going to continue to work well together. We've got lots of work to do on our elections committee together, and it's exciting to proceed in 2025 as friends and partners. So it's a privilege to give this to you. New year. Thank you, David.
Me first?
Okay, Supervisor Couch.
I won't take very long. Excuse me. That was very nice, and I greatly appreciate it. Anybody who knows anything knows that we do things as a board, and it was, I didn't do any of those things. The people that sit over here and all the people out there in the field every day do all those things. So thank you for the recognition, but it's really the hard work of our county employees that are responsible for all the things you read off there. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Supervisor Flores.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to echo what you said as well. We are very well served by Supervisor Couch and Chairman Couch with his fiscal background. And in closed session, he does ask the tough questions. He's methodical.
Yes, he is.
He's respectful. He sees things that others don't see, and he takes his time, and he'll get to the answers that are needed and to his satisfaction. And also, he serves on a number of committees, a lot of them that are of very weighty importance. When you think of Kern COG, Kern Council of Governments, KSARA, our retirement plan, the Air Board, so many. He's got his plate full, and he's our institutional member, and I think he served with distinction. And in the toughest of days and the easiest of days, he has an approach that is respectful, that's smart, and I think we were well served by you, David. And it's an honor to serve with you. It's an honor to learn with you, and I look forward to what 2025 brings with you as vice chair and you as chair. So congratulations.
That's so eloquent, Supervisor Flores. Thank you. Supervisor Parlier.
David, I just want to thank you for your leadership, your friendship. When I was on a Bakersfield City Council, you still had a big shadow there. And they would talk about, all the things that you accomplished with the city of Bakersfield, let alone what you've done with the county. And I just want to thank you for your leadership for District 2. As the new District 2 supervisor, you ran 2 offices for 6 months. And, just being new in the position, it's a lot just with one. And I want to thank you not only for carrying the district for the constituents and for me too. Thank you so much, David.
Supervisor Peters.
Well, I was going to echo
better be
the
nice,
comments of my colleagues, but I don't want Supervisor Couch getting a big head, so I'll just say I appreciate you and your leadership and mentorship, and keep it up.
Thank you, Supervisor Peters. How gracious, huh? Yeah. Okay, moving on to item number 6. This is a proclamation to claim January 2025, or proclaim January 2025. Item 2, oh, excuse me. Thank you so much, forgive me. So item number 2 is a resolution honoring Gerardo Carmona, Department of Human Services, upon his retirement with 40 years, 4 decades of dedicated service. And Supervisor Flores will be making this presentation.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion on item 2.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
And if Gerardo will come meet me at the podium, thank you. Rightly proud. Good morning, Chairman, Chair, and members of the board. One more thing about Supervisor Couch before we pivot. He picked the best song, intro song, Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds, and that's going to be hard to beat.
Simple minds.
And so you have a tall order, Supervisor Perez, to beat that song. Okay, well, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to honor one of our fine employees. He started back in 1984, 40 years ago. At that time, there was energy in Los Angeles with hosting the Olympics. Ronald Reagan was our president. Michael Jackson was at the top of the charts. And what a special time. That decade is so special. It is also special because Jerry started with the county of Kern. And so, as is custom, I'm going to read the entire proclamation, which is a testament and service to our employee. And Gerardo Carmona began his career with the county of Kern on November 5th, 1984, as a custodian worker 2 at General Services, and promoted to building service worker 2 on March 11th, 1989. And Carmona later advanced to senior building services worker with Kern County Parks and Recreation on June 30th, 2001, and promoted once again to supervising building services worker with Kern County Human Services on July 2nd, 2011, a position he held until retirement. And Mr. Carmona consistently went above and beyond to ensure numerous human services buildings were well maintained and in pristine condition, working closely with maintenance staff to confirm new and remodeled facilities were properly cleaned and ready for employee use. And throughout his tenure, Mr. Carmona developed and implemented effective pest control procedures across all human services facilities and was often seen inspecting various department buildings for the highest standards of cleanliness and safety. And Mr. Carmona's many contributions throughout his career were extremely impactful, particularly in operational efficiencies and process improvement during the COVID-19 pandemic, where he played a key role in establishing and implementing sanitation protocols for all human services offices, helping to safeguard the health of both staff and the public. And that was a trying time indeed, so thank you. As a supervising building services worker, Mr. Carmona demonstrated exceptional internal and external customer service, always exhibiting professionalism, sound judgment, and a flexible approach to complex situations. And in recognition of his dedication and outstanding service, Mr. Carmona was selected as a Kern County Human Services February 2013 Employee of the Month. And Mr. Carmona was exemplary employee whose incredible work ethic and dedication to his job made him an invaluable asset to our workforce, and his contributions embody Kern County Human Services core values of accountability and excellence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, does hereby honor and commend Gerardo Carmona upon his retirement with 40 years of dedicated service to our county, adopted this day, January 7th. Congratulations, and from all of us from the county, thank you for your service. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you, Supervisor Flores. A Happy New Year to you all. I just wanted to take this opportunity from my vantage point to obviously thank Jerry for all the years of service. A few months back, we had another employee that had 35 years of service, and I think I told Supervisor Perez at the time, this will never be eclipsed, and I stand corrected as I stand next to Jerry at 40 years. I don't think we have anybody over 40 years at DHS, but don't hold me to that nevertheless. I can't thank Jerry enough, who's obviously joined here by his family, his wife, Lori, who I've known for many years, starting with the department way back in '94. A little story that Lori just shared with me is she knew my dad, who also worked for the department, and my dad told her secrets, apparently, that I have yet to find out what those are, but hopefully to stay buried, I guess, for years to come. But no, thank you, Jerry, for all the years of service. Truly tremendous. When you think about our department, as the size of our department, we have well over 15 buildings in excess of 100,000 square feet. One thing about our department, if our department is dirty or unsanitary, our staff happen to have a habit of telling us right away. And Jerry does a wonderful job of making sure all of it gets addressed. And I can't thank you enough. And a lot of things that he does goes unnoticed, but I want him to know that I definitely appreciate what he's done. And Big shoes to fill for sure, 40 years. And there's more. Vanessa Frando, who's his assistant director, has a few other words to say, but thank you so much for your years of service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Vanessa Frando, Assistant Director, Department of Human Services. I have the privilege and honor of working with Mr. Carmona in my facilities division, and he's fondly known to those of us that work with him as Jerry. Whenever we've had a housekeeping question or a housekeeping need, you'll have to radio Jerry or call him on his cell phone, as you'll rarely find him at his desk. That's because he's a working supervisor who leads his team by example. You'll find him in the aisles, in the lobbies, or outside on the property cleaning, directing, and supporting his staff. When he promoted from another county department to Human Services to become a supervisor, some other of his county peers followed the first chance they had to transfer to Department of Human Services to be under his leadership. Jerry taught his team new skills and offered advice during challenging times. He will go down in the DHS history books for his research and development of the rapid response team during the worldwide pandemic, ensuring DHS could sanitize the workstations of 1,800 employees throughout all of our offices in Kern County, as well as our fleet of 200 county vehicles. So on this Friday at 5 o'clock, when our personnel report shows one vacancy for a supervising building services worker, it will not truly capture the shoes we have to fill. Jerry has been more than a loyal county employee and supervisor. He has been a friend and a mentor to many. In the audience today, we do have the Carmona family, Mrs. Carmona, who's a retired county employee, his children that are current county employees, and a whole heck of a lot of facilities staff here from the mailroom, purchasing, housekeeping, maintenance teams that are all here to support him because they value his friendship, his mentorship, and his years of service at Human Services. So thank you. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to say a verse that says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desires of your heart." I've delighted myself in the Lord, and he has given me the desires of my heart. My family, my work family, I can honestly say I'm a man that has everything a man desires in life. First of all, I thank God for my wife, Lori, that's put up with me this long. And this past year, we just completed 40 years of marriage as well. And my children, my daughter couldn't make it today. They're short-handed, like everybody else. And I didn't want to make her feel like a guilt trip. And I said, "Don't worry about it, sweetie. They'll video it, and then we'll show it to you." You know? And people are asking me, "What am I going to do for retire? Are you going to go to Europe? You're going to go here and there?" Look at here. I got 2 grandbabies right here that I just can't wait to drive them to school and to activities and show them what the world is. And so I want to appreciate the county for the opportunity, obviously. I want to appreciate General Services that opened the door for me. I want to appreciate Parks that I went through Parks as well. And I appreciate DHS. This is an amazing department, my God. When I went there, I saw what all we do, and I'm humbled by the activity that goes on every day there to meet the needs of our people in the county. So thank you, county. Thank you, DHS. Thank you, Parks. Thank you, General Services. Thank you for my work family, because I've always said we have 2 families, our immediate family and our work family. And sometimes we have scuffles with our work families, you know, praise God, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, we call it quit, or we call it, you know, and start fresh the next day. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Get my grandbabies now.
Well, Jerry, you are quintessential Kern County, and if anybody wanted to know what we're about, they could listen to your remarks and get a real good sense, a snapshot of what really matters to families in Kern County. And so thank you for representing us so wonderfully, masterfully here today in your remarks, but over 4 decades. And what an incredible legacy you leave with your family of service. And I agree with you, you have everything. You have everything. God bless you in this next chapter. We wish you all the happiness and peace for you and your family. Thank you for your service, sir. Okay. Moving on to item number 6. This is a proclamation for January 2025 as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Kern County. And Supervisor Couch will make this presentation.
Motion on the proclamation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. Did it work?
Supervisor Flores, can you reconfirm your vote?
Yeah, I did. What a nice guy.
I'm gonna call the vote all ayes because I know you voted for it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay. I hit it 3 times. I don't know.
I got a lot of information on this, but I know Dustin pretty well, and I know he's probably got more information and can probably say it better. So I just want to put it this way. Kern County, where we sit geographically, what do we got? We got I-5, we've got 99, we got 58, 46, 119, 223, 65. It's a great place to move goods. So it's just a great place to have a logistical center. Unfortunately, that also means we're a place that a lot of drugs move through, and unfortunately, a lot of people also move through. This group is doing something about that. And so this proclamation is to honor them, to bring awareness to this issue and bring awareness to what they're doing. So I'll read the proclamation. I'll turn it over to Dustin Contreras, who's our, as you mentioned, is our vice chairman of KSERA. It's an important position. But he's the head of this, what do they call you, the chairman of this? Co-director. I'm turning to you for other questions in a minute. Okay. So the proclamation reads, the Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California has officially proclaimed January 2025 as Human Trafficking and Awareness Month in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes signed by our Honorable Chair, Leticia Perez, dated today, January 7th, 2025. So Dustin, I'll present this to you. Thank you for all the work you do on this and many, many other things. I'll give you an opportunity to say a few things.
Thank you. I'm going to put my readers on because I was told I was old earlier. Thank you, Supervisor Couch, for your powerful words. Thank you to the chair, Chairwoman Perez. Congratulations again. KCAT has been around since 2012 as maintained that, being that beacon of support for all of Kern County when it comes to anti-human trafficking efforts. The International Labor Organization released a report in 2024 where data shows criminals are making approximately $27,000 per victim for sexual exploitation and about $3,600 for any and all other types of trafficking, more than likely labor. This is equaling about $236 billion annually. I almost didn't know what $1 billion was. I had to actually do the addition when I first got on the KSERA board and was surprised on how much it actually is. I'm not a numbers person. But just a few thank yous. Want to thank our dynamic District Attorney Cindy Zimmer and her task force and the Family Justice Center who are daily providing services to victims. Sheriff Youngblood, who in 2012 committed the Sheriff's Office to being the law enforcement entity that was part of KCAT, that arm. So it's been, and ironically, that was when I was a young detective assigned to come to KCAT meetings. Chief Greg Terry from BPD and Assistant Chief Brent Stratton and the whole BPD Vice Unit and Human Trafficking Unit, they're doing work every day. Chief Bill Dickinson from Probation and Katrina Garcia, she's here as well. Probation obviously plays a key role when it comes to trafficking, not to get into the weeds of it, but sometimes offenders are on probation or sometimes become victims of human trafficking. DHS Director Lito Murillo and Assistant Director Vanessa Frando. Vanessa used to come to our KCAP meetings way back when DHS used to attend. She was very instrumental in creating what is now what Andrew Victoria, Dr. Angela Look, and Christy Esquivel, or the CSEC unit, which is in the DHS, and that deals with children that are human trafficking victims, anyone under the age of 18. And they're doing a lot of good work over there. Our state and federal law enforcement partners, my co-director who couldn't be here, Carol Beecroft, is also the CEO of the Women's Center High Desert. Women's Center High Desert, they're on the agenda today as well. They do a lot of good work in East County, from Tehachapi all the way out to the cities that sometimes are untapped and where a lot of actually victims are exploited to the Los Angeles area from our East County. The amazing Lauren Skidmore from the Open Door Network, Eileen Parra, Enley Solis, who's here, Clark and Jennifer Jensen with the Global Family Care Network and the Daughter Project, Cynthia Giamara from City Serve Network, who couldn't be here in Project Rescue. She keeps us on track, reminds us, why we're here and why we help people and keep going forward. She kind of keeps us balanced. Probably heard she's an attorney by trade, so that's the brains. Chairman Octavio Acevedo and Vice Chairman June Nature with the Tohono Indian Tribe, who's tackling the MMIP crisis in California. Obviously, we talked about the Hard Rock Casino coming to the county. The Tohono Tribe reached out early to KCAT to kind of get ahead of any problems that would arise or any suspicions or myths that would come out of when putting a casino in this area. So you heard Supervisor Couch talk about the highways and byways, and obviously traffickers, criminals are going to look at businesses like that to exploit to their cause. So kudos to them, and they've partnered with us. Senator Shannon Grove's office, representatives are here. She championed legislation to ensure that we do punish traffickers and keep that going. Sometimes when we can become stagnant in our local areas as far as pushing human trafficking, we have to go to the legislation to make laws that are going to enforce that. So kudos to her. KCAT has always identified gaps in services or where they're needed, conducting needs assessments within the county. You heard me thank a lot of our partners right now. I want to introduce another partner of ours who had some individuals within their organization that knew they needed to address HT within that organization. My fellow KSARA trustee, Tyler Weitzel, reached out to me and said, hey, we have a human trafficking task force going on at Kern Medical Hospital, and linked me up with them. So I wanted to bring up Tanya Barraza, who's going to quickly talk. I'll give some closing statements after, but about what they're doing at Kern Medical. Tanya.
Thank you. Good morning. Every year, millions of men, women, and children are trafficked worldwide, including right here in Bakersfield. Language barriers, fear of their traffickers, and fear of law enforcement frequently keep victims from seeking help, making human trafficking a hidden crime. The trauma caused by the traffickers can be so great that many may not identify themselves as victims or ask for help, even in highly public settings like a hospital. In early 2024, Kern Medical formed a human trafficking task force to focus on development of an organizational-wide approach of this massive problem here in Kern County. This month is National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and Kern Medical will launch an organizational-wide approach to identify, protect, and support victims of human trafficking who are seeking care, receiving care, or are visitors at Kern Medical and any of our facilities. This launch represents opportunity to positively influence the lives of our patients and Kern Medical, and we greatly enhance the quality of care we deliver. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. And I just wanted to close out, just to remind, we all do this. Some of us do this in our professional lives, and some of us do this and devote a lot of our personal time here. But we wouldn't be here, and the reason why we are here is for our lived experience experts and survivors and victims of human trafficking. I just want to thank our local lived experience experts, Diana Cisneros, Jalika Zuniga, Odessa Perkins, and Ophelia Flores. These ladies guide us and steer us to do the right thing. And they make sure that we do right by all victims in Kern County. So again, thank you to the board. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Supervisor Couch, for your words. And we'll continue to fight for victims in Kern County. Thank you again.
Dustin, thank you for your many, many layers of devotion to serving Kern County. Your team is remarkable. They're inspired by you. They believe in you. And the progress that we have made has been, it's largely because of the role that you play. And that's just very special. And thank you.
Thank you. My contribution. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Can we get a picture? Okay.
Well, you guys were half the room. How wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, and keep up the good work. I really appreciated Dustin's recognition of lived experience experts that can help just paint the whole picture, Kathy. So we're being holistic, compassionate, but smart too, you know? Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Thank you. Item number 7 is a proclamation for January 2025 as National Eligibility Workers Recognition Month, proclaiming this month is Supervisor Peters.
Thank you, Chairwoman Perez. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm joined by Lita Murillo from the Director of Department of Human Services, and that's to declare January 2025 as National Eligibility Workers Recognition Month in Kern County. There are a lot of outstanding people that are working over at DHS, as we heard from one earlier, Jerry Carmona. I know there's a lot of unsung heroes over there doing some heavy lifting. How many employees do you have over there at DHS right now, Lita?
1,800.
A little over 1,800. Wow, that's awesome. Well, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we don't really hear about or get to talk about a lot, and the work that our national eligibility workers do is a big part of that. I was reading that annually right now they have over 127,000 cases that they manage for eligibility from everything from CalWorks, CalFresh, foster youth, homelessness, and that represents over $225 million of assistance coming to those in need in Kern County, as well as managing, I think it was just over 200,000 Medi-Cal cases, if I remember correctly. So absolutely incredible work that they're doing. Unsung heroes in that department. So I'll let Lito talk a little bit more about the work that they're doing, but it is my honor to share this proclamation. The Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, have proclaimed January 2025 as National Eligibility Workers Recognition Month in Kern County. And this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chair, Leticia Perez.
Thank you, Supervisor Peters. Good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you again for this wonderful proclamation. I'm joined here today by Miriam Ocampo Oriola. She is the Assistant Director over the Eligibility Division that we're recognizing today. And we do have eligibility staff. If I can have you guys stand real quickly and remain standing, please. So this is the eligibility staff. This is only a handful of them. Obviously, we couldn't bring the whole department. This would be amazing if we could. But I wanted to personally recognize them for the work that they do. Eligibility work is one of the hardest jobs. It's the actual first job I had with the county, and it's absolutely challenging. When you think about the lifeline that we have for many of our constituents in this community, whether it's housing, food, or medical services, our eligibility workers are on the front lines. They're the ones that make sure that happens. They're the ones that make sure benefits go out. They're the ones that obviously determine that eligibility. And it's such a challenging, difficult job. I know because I used to do it, obviously. But I can tell you, it does build a lot of skills. We have a lot of community leaders currently right now that are directors even that have been previously eligibility workers. Myself included. We have Jose Lopez, who's the Veteran Services Director, used to be an eligibility worker. Liz Chavez, who's your recently retired Child Support Director, was an eligibility worker. And Stephen Pell is at the Housing Authority, used to be an eligibility worker. So there's a long history of leaders that come as a result of this occupation because of the skills that you develop. But I want to personally thank the eligibility workers that we have working for us. They do an amazing job. And Supervisor Couch said it best. It's not the departments, these people here that really do all the work that make us look good. So thank you to those eligibility workers. And I'll turn it over to Miriam now.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Like Lita said, my name is Miriam Ocampo Arreola, and I am the Assistant Director over the Employment and Financial Services at DHS. Thank you so much for this proclamation and acknowledgement of our staff. It is very well deserved. Our eligibility professionals provide a very crucial service to our community. As they stated before, there are numerous caseloads. We are currently managing over approximately 103,000 CalFresh cases and over 200,000 Medi-Cal cases, among other cases, including foster care. They do a wonderful service for, like I said, the community. During winter recess, we were able to serve hundreds of families that needed their immediate needs met as well. As Lito stated, the work is difficult and complex. These workers work with children and families in crisis and despair, in moments of despair. However, they do this work with compassion and empathy for all of the community that they serve. It is because of their hard work and tireless efforts that a lot of the families in our community can get their basic needs met, including food and shelter. I also want to take this opportunity to commend our eligibility professionals for their performance in a recent management evaluation by the state, in which there were no findings, so that was amazing work, so big kudos to them. Now, to celebrate this accomplishment, as well as honor them during this month, we will be having various activities, including raffles and treats. We will also be sending 12 of our staff members to the New Paths Eligibility Conference later this month, again, to honor them and celebrate them. And again, like Lito said, it is the staff, the employees that are meeting with families in the lobby day in and day out and speaking with them over the phone that make this work and provide such a valuable service to our community. Thank you.
Thank you to all the righteous souls at DHS. You do a difficult job. Thank you. You also have a great leader in Lito. We're lucky to have him. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Keep up the good work, team. That wraps up our resolutions and proclamations portions of the morning. We are going to move on now to public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on matters that are not on today's specific agenda, but under the general jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification, make a referral to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Board may also take action to direct the staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes, please. Ralph, you're a pro, so I'm gonna hold you to it. Please state and spell your name before making the presentation. Ralph, again, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for your service. It's good to see you.
Thank you, and thank you for making America worth fighting for. My name is Ralph Robles, R-O-B-L-E-S, and last year, in response to a lawsuit from Judicial Watch, Kern County removed 77,000 voters from the voter rolls. Later on, Ms. Amy Espinoza came back and said that she had restored 37,000 of those people back to the voter rolls. She came up with a song and dance about key mispressed or malfunction. And since then, no further update on those 37,000 voters has been presented. As part of the California Public Records Act, I am requesting a report on those 37,000 voters that were restored to the voter rolls. Have they, in fact, actually voted? And are they still on the voter rolls? I would also like to get with them a report on the number of people that were initially removed from the voter rolls. It seems to me that when Judicial Watch said 70-some thousand voters and the county here removed 77,000, the whole thing was settled. But this is a repeat of a previous occasion, I think about 2 or 3 elections ago, when thousands of voters were removed from the voter rolls, and right after the election, thousands more were added right back to the voter rolls. There is a very disturbing pattern here, and we would like to have a little sunlight on the whole topic. Again, I remind this board that concerned citizens have had numerous requests for records to be provided to us. And according to the CPRA, they are due within 10 days of request. And they do not have to be written, they can be oral.
Okay, Mr. Robles.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, and congratulations to our new chairwoman.
Thank you.
Ms. Perez, and is it Vice Chair Couch?
That's correct.
Yay. And to the rest of this board members, good morning. My name is Charles Shin. I am a retired Marine and a concerned citizen. S-H-I-N-N. Yesterday, concerned citizens received a reply to our December emailed request for full data explanation as to why we have been limited in our data requests as required by law. We noticed 5 months of data reduction and election redaction for certain personnel. This must stop. We will accept elections updated copy to include 5 November as a replacement for our lackluster August order. Even though we've noticed 5 months of data reduction and election redaction, our main effort is in supporting Kern's compliance with voter roll maintenance of the NVRA. That's 52 U.S.C. subsection 20507 of section 8 in the NVRA, that's the removals. We seek lawful compliance in 2025. I am requesting County Council's oversight, as we will not accept anything short of full records in our data reviews. We're anticipating a potential 37,000 additional inactive voters to be removed shortly. Another reminder, former Chairman David Couch requested a 5-year removals report from the ROV last year, and we're still waiting for it. We look forward to working with our new chairwoman in a more productive and efficient 2025. We also support Kern County elections with a reduction of errors, and we wish continued success for our committee in supporting Kern County voters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shin.
I am a concerned citizen, Glenn Clayton, Glenn-Clayton. Good morning, Board of Supervisors and Madam Chair. We assume the election department staff are making their best efforts under the current increased demands to secure fair and free elections. We also know that the elections process, laws, reporting require intensive training and oversight. And we believe that divided attention and divided oversight by leadership is part of the reason why we are encountering problems with our elections department. The apparent errors, lack of competencies, lack of knowledge, lack of continuous control over data indicate a need for prompt remedy. We believe splitting the responsibilities of this current leadership into 2 separate roles would allow for a clear delineation of purpose and accurate execution in tasks. Concern 1. Citizens do not have a bias-free auditor when self-auditing of elections if both departments are led by the same official. Concern number 2, the elections environment, codes, physical and logistical equipment, personnel duties, technological hardware and software systems, financial, contractual agreements, and security have greatly increased since 1994. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton.
Dennis McLean, MC, capital L-E-A-N.
Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and Supervisors. We continue to experience inadequacies and errors. A, reporting election results. Kern near last to certify, reporting different numbers on local websites reporting compared to the state reporting. B, slow, non-existent communications. In-person, email, phone request. C, unavailable materials, inaccurate maps to candidates. D, inaccurate ballots mailed. Election materials such as voter guides and sample ballots received after elections are held. Candidate statements paid for and not included in material, voters included. E, continual lack of knowledge and inaccuracy information from staff. Too numerous to cite. G, H of lack of untimely, thorough, and continuous voter registration removals. H, lack of update and complete data from cast votes records, websites, and CPRs not provided to citizens protected under law to receive. I, financial burdens added to due mismanagement election races and special elections. Example, Fong, the Tulare School, Greenfield, McFarland. And J, breaking election law to allow a candidate in 2 races driving the issue to court, arbitration, and multiple special elections. Vince Fong. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Madam Chair, Board of Supervisors.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Russell Person like in people. We are specifically concerned With the addition of technologies, removing human oversight and control of data in poll book failures, unaccounted and missing inaccurate reporting on registration fluctuations from quote-unquote old software, long-term inactive registration removals, not maintaining accuracy, and unaware of missing qualifying voter registration information, and lack of staff retention. These conditions indicate that there is not enough dedicated, trained staff and lack of competency and balance of duties to maintain continuous data control. The board must address and remedy the identified situation of an overwhelmed elections department. The remedy is well within the means of authority to restore reliable governance, data control, and trust in free and fair elections with the original order of separated offices. Concerned citizens request the Board of Supervisors to rescind Ordinance G 6050, 1994 before the next election cycle of 2026. This ordinance is responsible for a consolidation of 3 separate election functions: Kern Auditor Controller, County Clerk, Registrar of Voters. General Provisions Rules of Construction. Section 10:16, Repeal of Modification of Ordinance. A, whenever any ordinance or part of an ordinance shall be repealed or modified by a subsequent ordinance, the ordinance or part of an ordinance thus repealed or modified shall continue in force until the ordinance repealing or modifying it becomes effective, unless otherwise expressly provided. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Person.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ron Barger,
Welcome.
happy 25.
Happy 25.
Under the Kern County Administrative Policy and Procedure Manual, Chapter 6, Government Accountability, we have found many areas of notable and applicable text that speaks to a lack of governance over the elections in Kern County. The Board of Supervisors are elected officials bound to accountability over the cost and errors of the Elections Department and its leadership. 601 General Statement. County officers, elected or appointed, and employees have a duty of loyalty and a duty of care in fulfilling their public trust in government service. 602 Definition, Point 1, Audit. In general, an assessment of information aimed to provide insight and determine the accuracy of information and or to propose recommendations to improve. Point 5, Waste. The intentional or unintentional thoughtfulness or carelessness, expenditure, consumption, mismanagement, use or squandering of resources owned or operated by the county. Wastes also include incurring unnecessary costs because of inefficient or ineffective practices, systems, or controls. 603, Fraud, Waste, and Abuse. Neglect of job responsibilities. 605, Board of Supervisors Audit Responsibility and Authority. The ultimate responsibility to have audits performed rests with the county's Board of Supervisors. 612, Post-audit reviews performed by the County Administrative Office. Within 45 days after written notice of noncompliance, the department head shall file a written plan of corrective action with the County Administrative Office. Thank you.
Mr. Shin, I assume that you were in charge of putting together this document that lays out some concerns, I think in a very user-friendly and clear way. I'm assuming this is excellent. Thank you for it. It is helpful, it is meaningful, we have heard you, I promise you. I look forward to hearing from Amy this morning in response to, or she has an announcement, but perhaps she'll address some of these issues, but we will continue to add it, Charles, to our growing, repertoire of hopes and dreams and direction that we're heading. I promise you. Thank you, Mr. McLean. All of you, thank you for being here. This is excellent. Your work is excellent. Your work product is excellent. Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who would like to address this board on matters that are within our jurisdiction but not on today's specific agenda? Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is John Hickman, and that's Hickman. And I'm here today to continue to advocate for better substance use disorder treatment options in Eastern Kern County, specifically Tehachapi. First, I'd like to welcome Supervisor Parlier as the representative for my district. I look forward to collaborating with you to create more equitable access to care for the people in our community. With your extensive background and experience in law enforcement and government, you understand the critical connections between addiction and many of the challenges we face in Eastern Kern. By addressing the root cause of the addiction, we can move beyond temporary fixes and create lasting solutions that change lives, reducing recidivism and build stronger communities. Second, I'd like to acknowledge Chairwoman Perez. Thank you for your continued leadership and for taking action to support solutions that extend beyond your district. Your willingness to engage and advocate for us and other disadvantaged populations mean a great deal, and it demonstrates the kind of leadership we need to address these pressing issues countywide. Lastly, I want to personally invite the entire board to Cornerstone's upcoming graduation ceremony on January 18th. This is more than just an event. It's an opportunity to see the lives that we've changed through the power of treatment and compassion. It's easy to look at numbers on a spreadsheet and make decisions based on data, but this graduation will humanize the situation. When you hear the stories of individuals who have turned their lives around, you gain a deeper understanding of why more treatment options are needed in underserved areas. These are not just members, they are not just numbers. They are human beings whose recovery impacts not only their lives, but their families, communities, and our collective society. I hope you'll join us on January 18th to witness the lasting impact that programs like ours have and to see firsthand the potential we have to create a brighter future for everyone in our county. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hickman. Did you send an invite to our office, or could you? Oh, right there. Thank you so much. Thank you for your excellent statement. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Oh, forgive me, Supervisor Parlier.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service to the community and specifically East Kern. I believe you talked to my chief of staff yesterday. I think I have it in my schedule too for the 18th to potentially be there. But I look forward to that and further conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other members of the public that would like to speak today? Give us your insight and passion. We certainly enjoy it and need to be proactive to it. Okay, we're going to move along from public presentations. I think, okay, I thought that was board member announcements. Forgive me. Okay, welcome, Amy. Nice to see you. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Good morning again. I'm not going to comment on a lot of the comments that we had this morning. I'm glad that you were provided with a nice list of concerns. Those are things that don't make it to me until after these meetings. And the folks who come to your board, I don't know if they're not aware that I'm also an elected official, elected by the entire county to run elections, as well as the auditor, controller, and the county clerk. So when I receive these things after the fact, it's hard to always respond to them. Also not knowing where this came from. Is it something that information they got from our office and didn't ask for clarification? Is it something that was read in an email from an outside source? Is it a national news story and it's being applied to Kern County? I don't know, so I can't comment specifically on certain things.
Understood.
I do want to mention Mr. Robles mentioned the inactive voter deletes, and we're in the process of doing that. There is a process of sending out a notification. There's a lot of things that go into that. And so we're working with council and Secretary of State to make sure that what happened in July when we removed those 76,000, and then Secretary of State came back and said, hold on a second, you guys ran the wrong report, basically. So we were able to fix it. And the 34,000, there was nothing nefarious going on there. We were just correcting the issue, and it was a user mistake. And so we got that corrected. We worked with our vendor, Secretary of State, and made sure that the people who should not have been removed were added back to the roll in time for the November election, because it is their right to vote. And so there's not a problem with us adding those back. So again, now we're done with the November 5th election, so we're going through that process again to see the inactive voters that didn't vote in this election who are eligible to be canceled from the roll.
Does this happen after every election cycle?
It should, yes. Okay. And so we will be doing that after every large election. So our special election we're not going to do it after that election because it only applies to federal elections. These particular inactive voters, they have to not vote in 2 consecutive federal elections, general elections.
So it isn't until you get a federal election that you have a new category of people that now didn't vote, and so they're now within that inactive qualification, possibly.
Correct.
Understood.
So this won't come up again until 2028.
Okay. How long do you anticipate the removal process from this last election, November 5?
It depends on if we have to send out notifications again. So if we have to send out notifications, then folks have 15 days to respond to us to tell us, hey, I shouldn't be removed. And then we process those, and then we have to run the job to go ahead and delete those. So hopefully by the end of February, again, giving everyone plenty of time, making sure that we do everything we need to do within the law to remove voters.
Okay.
I also wanted to remind everyone that in California, we have conditional voter registration. So folks who are on the roll, if they're inactive, first of all, they're not receiving a ballot. We don't send ballots to inactive voters.
Okay.
However, an inactive voter can come into a poll site or into our office, and they don't even have to re-register. They just indicate they want to vote. They're still in our system. We mark them as active.
Okay.
And so before, we had a 15-day cutoff before the election. So if you weren't registered by that time, you couldn't vote in the election.
I remember that.
Now, election day, even if someone is removed, they still have the right to vote when they walk into a poll site or into our office. And they can re-register. Someone who may have been taken off the roll 2 months earlier, they have the right to vote on election day per California state election law.
Because they're already registered, they're just inactive.
If they're inactive. But if they're completely removed, someone who's not on the roll at all, they have the right to come in per California state law, whether people agree with that or not. It is the law, and we follow the law.
Okay.
Something else really quick, the 5-year history of deletes, we are working on that, and when we get that, I'll send it to all of you, to your entire board.
Please, Supervisor
That's
Couch.
the document or the report that Mr. Shin politely reminds me of about every Tuesday that I haven't received yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm so sorry, Amy.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Supervisor Couch, you done? Thank you. Do you have a sense of the timeline on that 5-year report?
Hopefully by the end of next week. So I had staff run me a report of just the changes, and it's a long, lengthy report, and we were trying to kind of dig in to figure out. I don't want to hand you something that I can't fully explain, and I want to make sure that the things that we're providing are what you're asking for. And so we've been working through to extract that data, and then we'll put that into a spreadsheet for you.
Please, Supervisor Couch.
Here to clarify, I would like what he's asking for. So, and I'm not exactly certain what he would like, so can you?
Me neither.
To get together and just find out exactly the report he's looking for. I don't want to ask for the wrong thing.
Okay, so it's his request?
Whatever he's looking for is what I'm looking for, because I was going to take from you and give it to him.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
And thank you, Supervisor. Okay.
Okay, so my main purpose to come up today, after all of the negative comments this morning about our elections division, the incompetence, the mismanagement, the lack of oversight, all of that, I did want to share with your board and with the county that we received, we being the elections office, the registrar's office, the CSAC President's Award. It's tiny, it's not a big, not a big trophy, but we did receive this, and I did want to read this if it's okay with you.
Of course.
Dear Amy, at our recent annual meeting in Pasadena, I was pleased to present you and your team the California State Association of Counties 2024 President's Award. This recognition was extended to all 58 registrars of voters and their dedicated staff across California as a testament to your unwavering dedication to safeguarding democracy through fair and accessible elections. Amidst the significant challenges of recent election cycles, you and your team have worked tirelessly to uphold the integrity of our democratic process. On behalf of the CSAC family, please accept my appreciation for your hard work and your critical role in ensuring that every vote is counted and every voice is heard. I am also pleased to present you with the CSAC 2024 President's Award Challenge Coin to commemorate this honor. This small token symbolizes our profound gratitude and the enduring significance of your collective efforts. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. Thank you for your service to the people of California and your leadership in preserving our democracy. Warm regards, Bruce Gibson, who is the immediate past president of CSAC. And that's all.
Thank you very much. Amy, I really appreciate you being here. Like you, I'm an elected official. It's a tricky role. We have many different bosses that have full privileges and immunities as American citizens to convey their opinions, to criticize. That is their absolute right. As the human being on the receiving end of that, I have some sense about how hard that is. And I admire your grace, your grit. You have a difficult job. It is profoundly, profoundly significant, important on so many levels that I struggle to find the words. But I am so grateful. My heart is full that there are so many people in this community who care so deeply about our next steps, this chapter of ours that we are embarking on together. And I hope you know I see you as a partner, as a sister in the public service role, which is difficult and complicated. And with time, you do grow a thicker skin to it. It's a little bit extraordinary. So, we should be thanking these folks for keeping us on our toes and for increasingly growing bonds and friendship that I think are really going to be critical pieces to addressing your concerns, ways in which this board can be more comprehensive in supporting you, Amy. But I thank you for being here. Congratulations on that recognition. We are a 58 puzzle piece state, connected and ultimately under the jurisdiction of the state. That means we need friends there, and we need to be shrewd about how we influence change in this very complex institution. Thank you, and a Happy New Year to you, and I feel very optimistic moving forward. And I appreciate Supervisor Couch's remarks about, what ultimately it is the public that we're responding to. So, that this, it's hard to get on the same page. People use different words, they mean different things by different concepts. It is really complex. But slowly but surely, I think we are getting on the same page. And you being here and being so open to us when we do not have jurisdiction or authority over you, I think is very gracious. So thank you. I remain optimistic, Mr. Shin. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Oh, she's here. Ms. Espinoza, before you, I was hoping, since I have you here and county council is here at the same time, can you give us an update on, because I haven't heard what happened with this, Greenfield School District, that issue? Where do we, maybe, and if you can't do it.
I don't have an update. It's my understanding it's still with the court.
Supervisor Couch, through the chair, it is my understanding that the Greenfield School District's filed an amended writ petition in Superior Court, and the matter is set for a status conference or a case management conference in early February, maybe February 7th. It's like a recollection.
So when we thought the court was going to move expeditiously due to an election issue, that didn't really, that's not a criticism of the court, it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah, so I don't know that the school district requested an expedited hearing. I didn't see that as part of their filings. But they are asking that the election, that the court order the election be set aside, that the court order a special election, that the seat be declared vacant, and then there's a request for costs and fees associated with their legal action.
Okay. Also, the North Kern, South Tulare Hospital District, a similar issue, but Tulare County was involved. Do you have an update, any update on that?
I do not have a very current update, but that, you're right, that is the one where the hospital district straddles Tulare and Kern County, and the Tulare County ballot neglected to include a seat for a short-term board member. And I haven't heard anything for a couple of weeks about that.
I'll get back with you on that. And last but not least, the ad hoc committee on elections that Supervisor Perez, Chair Perez and I are sitting on is bringing forward its recommendations to the board. Do you have a date for that?
Supervisor Couch through the chair. That's January 28th is the meeting that we're targeting.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for that clarification, Supervisor. January 28th, we're looking forward to it. Amy, thank you so much. Good to see you. Okay, any other members of the public who would like to speak today on matters that are not on today's agenda, but within the vast endless powers of the Board of Supervisors? Supervisor Couch chuckles. Okay, seeing none, we have board member announcements and reports. Any of my colleagues? Okay, I would like to say I was remiss yesterday to not thank my colleagues for the opportunity and privilege to serve as chair of this illustrious body in this glorious county of whom I adore. Thank you, Supervisor Parlier, Supervisor Flores, Supervisor Peters, and Supervisor Couch. I sincerely appreciate you. I thank you, and I offer you my best, I promise you. Supervisor Flores, your comments were so generous and incredible. I will never forget them. Thank you. And again, Supervisor Parlier, congratulations and welcome. I understand you have some comments. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank staff. There's well, I won't call it a mess, but it's quite an ordeal out at Edison Trailer Park. And through the graciousness of staff and our partners, I want to specifically mention Flood Ministries. They've been just awesome to help this community. We're going to do a big get-together and try and help these folks into services on Friday. We have a meeting today, I believe today, to talk about it too. And anyway, we're trying to help and facilitate that help, and that help would not be coming if it wasn't for our staff. Thank you so much.
Supervisor Parlier, what is the issue there?
Well, there was a double homicide, burnt the 3 trailers down, took out the power service to the rest of the park of approximately 30 trailers. It falls under HCD, essential responsibility. So there's a sort of bureaucratic navigating that's having to take place. But we're shepherding through the process, and I believe we're getting the folks the services that they need.
Wonderful, Supervisor Parlier.
Thank
Thank you. Excellent service. Okay, seeing no other board member announcements or reports, we will entertain, or I will entertain, a motion to close session where we will handle items 41 and 42. Thank you. Adjourned.